we'll be interested in understanding that how the ETSI works, and what is the domain area in which the ETSI is operating.
Okay. ETSI is essentially a global ICT standards body with a focus on Europe, as is indicated by the title, the European Telecommunications Standards Institute, but we have members from across the globe. We're one of the most active standards developing organisations in the ICT area, with a focus primarily on the mobile and telecommunications, but also the whole of the ICT area as well.
Okay. And that works with different organizations across the world in setting
Yes,
standards?
so if you think of any major organisation, be it an operator, manufacturer, academia too, involved in ICT, they're probably on a list, and many SMEs and other companies as well.
You are in touch with Indian organizations also?
Yes.
Like DSI and
yes.
BIS.
Yes.
How do you collaborate? Is it that the standards which are anyway common across the world, which are to be brought to India, or you hear from the India and then try to incorporate there?
Our prime involvement is through what we would call a partnership arrangement. Mm-hmm. We have two prime partnerships. The biggest one, of course, is for mobile phones. And there ETSI and SESEI collaborate as partners in an organisation called 3GPP, the Third Generation Partnership Project, and also we have an IoT-based partnership called 1M2M.
1M2M, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Alongside that, we collaborate on a range of standards and a range of issues, but the partnership agreements, the partnership arrangements are our prime means of working with other standards bodies.
On 1M2M, there are a lot of other protocols which are coming.
Indeed, yeah.
Like LoRaWAN is
there.
Earlier Zigbees were there, etc.
Yes.
How do you manage to bring this synchronization or synergy between different protocols?
Well, 1M2M is not a standard that provides an end-to-end solution. It's more of a standard to glue things together. Mm-hmm. It has the advantage primarily that it's accepted by a lot of operators and a lot of manufacturers and organisations, but secondly it develops interface layers that interface to other standards as well. So you could kind of think of it as a sort of standards glue, but it's an awfully large part of the glue. And it's arguably one of the most successful standards so far in a space that's very competitive. Who knows what it will look like in 10 years' time? But it's sort of slowly beginning to take off probably more than most of the other standards in that space.
With the advancement in the telecom sector, everything is getting connected. We believe that there will be 50 billion devices connected by 2020.
Yes.
The cybersecurity becomes a great threat to that.
Yes.
So are there standards which the ETSI is working on?
We have a committee that deals with cybersecurity, and they're one of the most active committees in this space. They have the rather difficult job of sort of trying to generate standards that work across a whole range of devices and a whole range of concepts. And again, like what M2M has been talking about, it's quite a competitive environment for standards. But we have the benefit, of course, of 800 members who bring their ideas to ETSI, and also a lot of their security work as well. So, although we're not the only player in the space, we are a major player in the space.
Okay. In tomorrow's conference, you will be covering, some of the areas. Any salient points which you want to share with us in this?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be talking to some extent on the theme of partnership and trust and the sort of the relationship that we need to make that work, because standards is an environment where you need to trust others. Essentially people who are often your competitors, but you're coming together to agree that this basic layer will benefit your company and overall society, and create something that is good that you can all work on top of to to do your own proprietary stuff. But you've got to trust the other people, you've got to trust the other companies, you've got to trust other organisations, and you've got to work together in a partnership. And while you have a legal basis for that, it's very much about the interplay of individuals and how much they sort of work together and partner with each other to actually produce that final standard that produces a good standard that works.
So bringing trust amongst the stakeholders is the biggest,
Yes. I mean, it's something that you have to build and work on. I mean, and of course, it has to be there in the first place as well, in order to even want to come together and say, well, I'm going to work with your company, even though we're selling competing products.
Yes. Yeah. And it evolves over a period of time. It cannot be that in one day you can.
Yes. Which is one reason why there's no such thing as a quick standard.
Yeah.
There is if a few people write it, but if it's going to get good market synergy, you need a range of players in there. They have to work together because they've probably got differences, and those differences need to be sorted out and ironed out, because you've got to agree on the one single thing that is your standard. Because a standard is a single set of stuff. It's not many competing ideas in one box.